I've run out. One last person. One last person. Adam.
Okay, I've been nominated. Look closely into my team's maps and look into helping them improve the lowest motivators, but also to understand them.
So you're going to actually use this with your teams, look into the map to understand it. And by the way, this is a new technology. It's a new understanding. Nobody's expecting you to get all this stuff in one hit, okay? Here is an introduction for you. There's a lot of resource from Claire and Keely and the rest of it all. We're here to help you get this. But, you know, use these numbers. Understand your teams at a deeper level. You know, when they've done a map, one of the first questions you might want to ask them is, you know, thanks for doing the map. You know, how accurate did you find that? Various people said to me, yeah, that's me. Yeah, great, you want them. Of course, if you start sort of saying, well, okay, you need to do this, this, and this, and you haven't checked that they find it accurate, then, of course, it's going to miscue the thing. So ask them, how accurate did you find the map? And when they say, actually, it's very accurate, you know they are the levers that you need to meet in order to satisfy them and to motivate them even further. Great, great thing to do. But don't forget, you can break your heart to make things right, as Scott Walker once sang, but you know, you do need not only to motivate your teams, you've got to motivate yourself first. If you don't actually fill yourself up first, you're no good to man or beast because you haven't got the energy to actually motivate your team. So you've got to look after yourself. You're not being selfish looking after yourself. You're actually looking after yourself so you can look after them. Think of it as Deborah talked about with your child. You've got to be okay yourself before you can actually look after your own child. So that's fabulous. Thank you very much for that. Now, are there any other questions about what we've covered? Yes, Claire.
I just thought it might be useful to share with the team how we use the maps in the HR team, because we trialled it first to see if we thought it was a good system. We got a good result. But when we did it as a HR team, what Keely did, and I hope you don't mind, was that she took our top 3 motivators and she put into our personal update, she agreed with us an objective or an action that we were going to work on specifically aimed at meeting that motivator. So for me, because I've got 3 spikes, 3 blue spikes, so I get to work from home, my freedom and independence. I get to do 1 half day a month of something creative and innovative that I bring back to the business, and then I also get to develop my understanding of the business so I can develop our vision by spending more time doing different jobs in the different sides. So, and we've all found that incredibly motivating.
See, so that's fabulous what she said. That's some big steps there. But, you know, it doesn't have to be big. You start with small things sometimes, you know. You start with any small step you're making towards this starts building momentum. In fact, Mark in his talk this morning talks about little things. The little things in life are the most important thing, not the big things, funnily enough. And in fact, this actually happens in Sherlock Holmes. If you know Sherlock Holmes, the stories, Sherlock Holmes is always saying to James Watson, Dr. Watson, he's always saying, you know, actually, it's in the little things you can solve the crime. It's the things that people overlook. You know, the big things, everyone's buzzing about the big things, but the little things reveal actually and lead to the footsteps to actually who's committed this crime. So Sherlock Holmes is always looking at the little things in order to find out what the big things were. So same is true here. You can do big things, but you can also focus on small things, small steps that move you towards motivating yourself. And they say this about exercise, don't they? If you start saying, well, I've not exercised for 10 years and I start actually doing sort of like, you know, 5-mile runs, you very quickly stop. But if you actually go up a flight of stairs, you know, for a month, you know, once a day, and you climb the flight of stairs and you can do it once a month, and then you go up 2 flights of stairs, and you do slowly, eventually this thing starts building its own momentum. So small things are really, really important. Never discount the small things. They're really critical. So think big and also think small in what you're doing. So thank you for that, Claire. That's really, really wonderful what you've just said. That's absolutely great. So, yeah, sorry. Oh, right. What I'm going to say finally then to you is it's been really fabulous being with you. I have a vision for you myself. One I'm going to impose on Mark, who's going to obviously shrug his shoulders and just bat it away. But my vision for you is this. You know, I live in Bournemouth, and I don't see any Motorpoint down there. So I'm waiting for the day when Motorpoint comes south, and I look forward to having a team down there. That would be really fabulous, so that's great. Secondly, I'm on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, feel free to find me out and say if you want to link with me, that'd be fabulous. It would be really good to link with you. I'm very open about linking, and I've got loads of contacts and things, so fabulous. If you just say from Motorpoint, or I see you're from Motorpoint, that to me is reason enough to link with you, so that's absolutely great. Thirdly, obviously, I'm hoping to see some of you again and work with you to build the momentum for this and to keep working at it. It's not something to do once and then you forget about it. Motivation is something to keep working. I do it for myself. People sometimes say to me, James, you know, you turn up for these events and you're highly motivated, but what do you really like? As if I turn up for events and I'm putting on some sort of mask, like I've got to, yeah, I'm motivated. I'm actually like this all the time. My wife sometimes tries to slow me down a little bit. She's pretty motivated herself, but she finds me a little bit excessive. But the thing is, I'm doing it not because I'm trying to be, you know, something. I'm doing it because I want to be motivated, because I want to feel good about myself. I like feeling good. So I actively do things that energize me. It sounds ridiculously simple, doesn't it? But, you know, most people don't do that. They do things that, you know, unenergize them, that depress them, that, you know, they go to events they don't want to go to, they do things, they've got friends who put them down, they have all this sort of stuff. And after a while, you know, your motivation sort of collapses. So what if you did the opposite? What if you did all the things that actually feel good about, and you started feeding your feed the motivators. Feel good, have more energy, and then, you know, it's not a question of, am I putting on an act? I'm not putting on an act with you guys. This is who I am, it's what I do. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being a fabulous audience. I want to thank Adam, and I want to thank Mick especially for actually their wonderful stories and sharing with us, as well as the other contributors. That was really great. I want to thank Keely and I want to thank Claire for their vision in getting this going, because it's a really bold move. And I want to thank you for being a fabulous audience. I've such a fantastic, I don't even want to go, but I've got to go. When a man's got to go, he's got to go. But thank you so much. It's been really sensational. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.